Sure.
I hear you've run off of that hussy Beth.
Drinking moonshine and peach schnapps. I feel like if anybody's going to bring her back into the group, it's Daryl. Daryl's going to have to be the one to talk her back.
Sure. I mean, it's funny because Beth talked him back off of his ledge.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea where they're going with this. That's something we debated since season 2, man. The Cherokee Rose. What is going on with this relationship?
Yep. So then we go to the final scene where Bob is outside in the dark by himself. He's apparently sad about something. We don't really know what it is. He gets bashed over the head by Gareth, and when he wakes up, Gareth goes on this incredibly long monologue about what it takes to survive, and then reveals that they are eating his leg.
Yeah.
Bob.
Horrific.
He pulled the "we got your leg" stunt. Bob fell for it.
Super effective.
Hook, line, and sinker.
When you can really pull that when you actually have their leg, you can pull the got your leg.
When you're eating their leg in front of them, yeah.
By the way, the vast majority of this dialogue was straight out of the comic.
Okay, cool. He's making a case that says basically the world turned him into this, right?
Yeah, and then more to the point, Rick, like we were at worst trappers, but now we're hunters.
Yeah.
We devolved further. We've evolved into termites, and now we've devolved into hunters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they see themselves of having evolved into the termites, like you said. Eating people is a step up in his mind. Just the organization of it, the civility in some ways of it.
I don't know. I feel like hunting people down, dangerous game style.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's just talking a bunch of cold smack.
Yeah, I agree. He's making a case that no one is buying.
Eating Bob Shanks right in front of Bob is a low blow, Gareth.
Sure.
Take your salon quality hair and get the fuck out of here with that shit.
So we talked about Bob's, I guess, dilemma in this scene a little bit in the instant cast, where we kind of guessed what Bob was crying about. Like, I think he got bit underwater. There's a very weird look he gives after that walker comes out of the water. After he kisses Sasha the second time, he goes outside. He's got a gun in his pants. Like, I don't think that gun is for protection. I think that gun is to blow his brains out.
I was thinking he would go out and commit self-murder.
A lot of people are saying maybe he's not able to deal with the drinking.
Oh, fuck off.
I call complete bullshit on that. There's no... that is not a reaction that man would have to
when you're saying
watching
a lot
other
of people
drinking.
You're talking about delusional people on Reddit.
Sure.
Okay, good.
And there are a lot of them, so I said a lot of people.
I think that... I do think that there's something to possibly be said about maybe he did try, they get out, and maybe he did fall off the wagon. He's feeling bad about that. Mm-hmm. Or that he's put such a happy face on that he was kind of fraudulent about that. But I think it's still pretty clear to me that something happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why else you go outside in the dark by yourself in this world unless you are extremely distraught and ready to probably end it.
We've got a lot of interesting email takes on that.
Okay.
So,
but it plays into this final scene, and we talked a little bit about that as well in the instant cast, where and this discussion is all over Reddit as well, if he was in fact bitten and they ate his leg, would that do anything to Gareth and his crew?
I have no idea.
My guess is no. That doesn't matter, because the way I've seen it happen in this series is that everyone is infected. We know that for a fact, according to Jenner anyway.
Sure.
So if you believe that, then they already have whatever virus is causing this plague inside them, and it is obviously not killing them.
And someone on our Facebook page speculated there's 2 viruses, one that's carried with everybody and one that's activated by a zombie bite.
I don't even think you need that.
Yeah, I don't think there's any evidence of that. If there was, that was something that they could... I mean, that's what the CDC episode is all about, giving us zombology lessons. Yeah. And, the big secret takeaway, maybe he had 2 things he whispered in Rick's ear. You know, everyone's infected, and then Rick eyes bug out. Also, there's 2 strains. I don't. Yeah.
Here, so don't try this, but go try this. Take a big handful of a corpse of rotted
out.
flesh. Pierce your skin and rub the goo into your wound.
Nope, not going to do it.
That will cause a nasty infection.
Sure.
And if left untreated, that infection will kill you.
Sure.
That, in my opinion, is what happens with the walker bites.
Yeah,
they bite and or scratch you. The flesh gets inside your body, causes an infection. You die. Then the virus kicks in, and you become a walker.
Sure. No, I'm totally in agreement. Now, the other thing that I would like to know is, because obviously zombies are physiologically impossible.
Okay.
So they're kind of like supernatural into that, you know, they've got a viral scientific explanation, but there's just no way that would actually happen. So these operate beyond the laws of science as we know them. However, as far as I know, there's no virus that I'm aware of that can survive, you know, 400 or 500 degrees or however a well-cooked, you know, like, what is it?
I think it's like 160. It's not.
No, that's, yeah.
Like 180 internal temperature, something around there.
Yeah, the thorough cooking kills pretty much every pathogen.
Yeah.
So are they saying that this virus is so hardy, if Gareth and his crew get secondarily infected by Bob, and it wouldn't be a super zombie infection, it would just be a regular old run-of-the-mill infection.
Yeah.
Is it going to, I mean, if it survives a cooking process, that's super interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what that would tell us about this virus.
Yeah.
That there's just no way to kill it.
I don't know.
I also had a hard time believing that Bob would not. Bob must have the world's worst case of tunnel vision. Because sitting on my couch watching this episode, well in my periphery vision were both of my legs. The fact that he sits through 2-3 minutes of monologuing and doesn't notice that his leg is gone is really dumb to me.
Yeah, I mean, I will strike that up to artistic license, and that he was concussed, and I don't know how. I mean, he wasn't making, like, for example, Morpheus is being interrogated by Agent Smith in the Matrix, and you know his eyes are rolling back in his head. Like Agent Smith is all about grabbing his head and telling him things, but I don't think anyone's home, right?
Sure,
so
yeah.
I kind of got that impression with.
But then, as soon as he mentions it, as soon as Gareth looks down at his leg and says something slightly coded, Bob goes, "Oh yeah, my leg's gone." Ugh.
Yeah, it's like I said, dramatic license.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that's about it. Let's talk about the symbol on the tree. Yeah?
Sure.
I'm sure we have feedback about this.
We do.
Okay. Do we want to save it for then?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
Because else we're just going to... I mean, you know what? I'll just scroll down and grab it.
Okay.
And so I can give credit to who sent us in, because this is not an uncommon theory. But George S. Sent us in information about the hobo code.
This is not the first guy to send this in, by the way. Right after the episode last week with the circle and the X on the tree, somebody sent me, I think his name's Roach, Joey Roach, maybe. It sounds like a good name. Sent me this link on Twitter. So,
but it's the hobo code, and that was also featured prominently in Mad Men. It's a real life thing where vagrants would put codes on signposts, doorposts, nearby trees to identify the types of persons living on a property. That, like, beware of police. There's a dangerous dog. This person gives food. This person's a minister, so he might give you food or money, or play up your religious angle to get. It's like, so the things that they kind of like a hidden map to help a fellow traveler navigate the world. The X with the circle with the X through it is signed for good place for a handout. And they also said that the line with the little curly Q hanging off of the right side indicate that it might be doubtful for any help or supplies. I looked at these symbols, and I think that the circle X is a rough correlation at best. I did not see the second symbol anywhere on that page.
just a straight up line?
No, line with the thing hanging down off of it.
There's a thing hanging down.
Yeah,
off
it was like an L rotated 90 degrees counterclockwise.
Oh, all I saw was a line, and there is just a line.
What's just
on that
a line?
chart? Doubtful.
Okay, but again, I thought it looked like an L rotated counterclockwise. So, but I could be wrong, and it could be hobo code. If so, my thing is, not everyone knows hobo code. It's not like you got the internet to look it up.
No.
So who is doing this?
Hobos. Eli from Boardwalk Empire.
It's it's significant, obviously, to Morgan.
Apparently, yeah, he sees it. He takes his mask off. Get a better look.
Yeah. So we got some feedback in addition. This guy was just bringing it to our attention. And we can talk about his theories when we get to that part.
Yeah, well, I think we're ready for some feedback, aren't we?
Well, we need to pay some bills first.
Okay.
Jim, I'm blown away by the generosity of our listeners because you and I were going to start working on forum preparation this week because we're like, we're 150, almost $200 away. We got a couple weeks, maybe even a month before we'll get there. Thursday during our Lunch with Jim and Aaron feature where we're carving pumpkins and stuff, which you could check out if you're a Patreon member, we just went over it. It completely caught us by surprise, and now we've got the forums going live as a direct result. We're going to have user forums where you can participate, you can interact with Jim and I, you can do the live watches, you can talk with your fellow fans. You can create your own topics if you want to talk about television that, you don't have to be beholden to what I happen to remember to create every night on Facebook.
You can talk about your CW shows.
You can talk about the Arrow and the Flash. We're pretty excited about that. We bought the software yesterday. We're configuring it over the next couple of days. We're hoping to have it up and ready by next week. Mm-hmm. And pretty excited about the Era Bald Move starting. If you want to find out what's next, which is there's some synergy. We're at the next level. If we can raise $1,000, we're going to be doing each month a community-sourced custom podcast. If you want to see what that looks like and our plans for that, you can go to patreon.com/baldmove to find out all the stuff that you can get, all the access. Do not forget about subbable.com/baldmove because now we got the forums unlocked. We got some plans for some new reward levels to do some crowdsourced custom podcasts over there as well. Plus, it's got a bunch of unique rewards that you can't get anywhere else. Also, Amazon.baldmove.com, great way to support us if you're shopping, if you're doing your Christmas shopping. If you need a last-minute Halloween costume, Prime shipping is there to get it to you in 2 days. Check that out. We get a tiny cut. We'll just make Bezos scream.
Really, that's all we want to do.
He called and threatened us this week, said he's going to shut us down and not give us his pennies. But we said fuck off, and he is forced to give us the pennies. The anguish of that man's voice as he hung up the phone. Yeah. Unreal.
Yeah. No, he was weeping against a tree. It was a video call.
Honestly, he could keep the pennies. The anguish in his voice was almost payment enough for me. Leave us rating reviews on iTunes. Another great way. Share stuff on social media. We appreciate everything that you do to support us. We mean that from the bottom of the heart. The reason we can do this and do all the expanded Month of the Dead coverage, which... by golly, we got a ton of it.
Yeah,
we got. We're playing episode 3 of season 2 of the Walking Dead video game. 4 tonight, 7:00 on Eastern Standard Time. You can catch all of our previous playthroughs starting from season 1, episode 1 on YouTube.com/baldmove, and we're playing this on Twitch.tv/baldmove. You can get a couple of the episodes there, last few weeks worth. You're doing the zombie movie reviews. Mm-hmm. All this stuff is possible because you guys are helping support us. So
yeah, thank you so much.
I appreciate that. Are we ready to get into feedback?
I think so.
If you'd like to give us feedback, you can do so at watchingdead@baldmove.com. Here is a selection from the feedback bag. Dan S. said, noted a episode description in the little synopsis that's on AMCTV.com for last week's episode.
Uh-huh.
The description at the end, when it describes Morgan's appearance, said, months after Rick's escape from Terminus, a masked stranger marches down the railroad tracks. He stops to see the Terminus sign Rick has modified and hangs his head. He removes his mask and reveals it's Morgan.
Months later.
it would be nice to know that for sure. It would be nice to have a sense of time and place.
Yeah.
Why would they put that in the description of the episode and not inform us as viewers?
Maybe they tried to. And we just didn't get it. Maybe the slow-mo walking was months. Maybe they're flashing forward to Morgan, and we're still in present day, but Morgan is months.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Away?
It's like if we're not meant to understand the passage
Yeah.
of time yet, although there's a lot of fucking really good questions, like, you know what? And we completely skipped over the whole Chad being a lying scumbag. Not Chad, rather. Chad's a nice guy.
We can talk about
Tyrese. There's some feedback on it, but I'm so confident in feedback, I forgot to mention it in the show.
Okay.
It's like Gareth looked like he got shot. That guy got beat up, on my second and third watches, I did notice that he looked like he had been beaten.
Guy. Yeah.
The hat chewing gum guy, but he had healed somewhat.
Yeah, maybe.
But anyway, if we're not supposed to know, it's curious that they put that in the synopsis.
Mm-hmm.
Faye from LA said Carol didn't want to turn didn't want the watch back because it was given to her by her abusive douche canoe husband Ed. She tells Rick that back in the episode Indifference. Mm-hmm. By the way, Ed, the guy who played Ed, was hanging out at the VIP party.
Yeah,
lost a ton of weight. Almost
weight.
Didn't recognize him. We're like, I know this guy's famous because people are flocking around him,
and I can remember his face from something.
Yeah, he looks familiar. Oh, right. That's the guy Shane beat the shit out of.
Yeah.
Anyway, I also think that Rick's apology to Carl is more than a mere let me say whatever I have to say in order to keep the group together. He was genuinely acknowledging that he too was wrong for making the unilateral decision to banish her. Rick taking shared responsibility was nice to see. And finally, please tell me they had someone on the lookout while they were chowing down in the church. Please, because if not, I'm calling bullshit. Has this group learned nothing?
Maybe Bob was a lookout.
Cinnamon twos, groups of twos, people. I mean, that's what killed Andrea's sister Amy.
Yeah, I think Bob just went out there by himself. No, they apparently didn't have a lookout.
That's a point I made in my book, by the way, that you can find out about at book.baldmove.com. You see how I slyly snuck that in? Like, if only Amy had someone that gave a shit about her.
Yeah.
Like, maybe her sister, who had the loaded gun on her at all times, to accompany her on her in-the-dark pissing expedition, she would still be with us. We'd still have her and her skinny white jeans.
That's the problem, man. All of our lookouts are dead. Dale's dead. Which
points out the need for more lookouts.
Andrea's dead. Lookout is, unless you're going to put somebody good on lookout position, you might as well not.
Yeah, and Daryl's too good for lookouts.
Yeah.
He's too busy collecting his squirrel suit. Mm-hmm. Karen A. said in opening credits they show the red-handed machete in Rick's bag. In this episode, we see it on Bob's waistband, which now means it's in the leftover termites camp, sealing Gareth's fate to be killed by Rick with that very weapon.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. Do you think Rick's going to come in and pull it off of Bob's corpse? Is Bob going to do it for him? Is Bob going to deny him the red machete kill?
Nah, Bob is not going to get that opportunity. I feel like Bob's going to die, but I think Rick is going to use that red machete to hack him to pieces, yeah.
All right. Michelle K. said, who, including Daryl, could argue with Carol's decision to kill Lizzie after she killed her own sister in a psychotic manner in which she did? Carol was only trying to protect not only Judith, but possibly Tyrese and anyone else whom Lizzie could shoot point blank with a weapon if she were to acquire one. This action was an obvious contrast to her preemptive killings of the sick people who could die and become walkers, which was indeed a morally questionable decision, as no one knew if the sick people were going to die for sure or get well and overcome their sickness. She's arguing about why Carol's hesitant to tell Daryl about this particular story. Mm-hmm. She says, it continues, if anything, and maybe this is the shipper coming out of me, it seems that Carol may be afraid of her feelings towards Daryl becoming any more than friends. Maybe she doesn't want to get too close. So she's piecing out of Dodge while she still has a chance. She's still seen too much death and has had to make way too many tough decisions, so is leaving before she has a chance to get too close to anyone. Who knows if this will change when and if they find Beth, but for now, it seems that Carol is hardening herself towards anyone getting close to her. Just my 2 cents, your mileage may vary. Do you think that her feelings towards Daryl is influencing the behavior of Carol?
Yeah, I feel like it definitely could be. She has kind of become accustomed to not having to worry about how her actions are going to affect the people in her group, right?
I don't know. It's a new thought for me, man.
I don't know. I definitely think that could be the case.
I also I share her confusion about why she's so shy about talking about this, or even Tyrese.
Well, I felt like it was to protect Tyrese in that moment.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Rachel H. says, for the first time ever, I feel confident about The Walking Dead. After season 4.5, especially the finale and the season 5 premiere, I'm optimistic about the new Gimple area.
The what? The Gimple area?
The new Gimple era.
Okay.
Season 4 questioned whether or not you could come back from the horrible things you've done, and I think Season 5 is expanding on that question to include who or what are you now? Are you the butcher or the cattle, the hunter or the hunted, the survivor or the savior, etc.? At any rate, I'm looking forward to seeing them on the road. This show is more interesting and dynamic when they're moving and encountering new people and situations. We already have numerous new allies and foes. The only thing that worries me is between Rick's group, Abraham's group, Father Gabriel, the Termites, Beth Nappers, and Morgan, the cast is swelling to Game of Thrones proportions, and that show can get disjointed trying to juggle its massive cast and storylines.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. I think maybe the road solves a lot of that because you just keep moving. I've said for a long time, this show will get really interesting and good when it actually has the courage to stay on the road for a while.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I feel like the Termites are not going to last very long. The way they so swiftly dealt with Terminus itself, I feel like they're going to be dealt with in the next couple of episodes, maybe.
Could be. Jake T has a theory. This may sound far-fetched, but would it make any sense if Gabriel's working with Gareth and company? We know Gabriel has a secret and Gareth was spying on the group. Do you think that maybe Gabriel was used by Gareth to give the group shelter so the termites can slowly pick them off? I'm also wondering if Bob did get bit and the termites eat him, will that really affect them at all? I thought everyone was already affected. We've already dealt with that. What do you think of this theory of Gabriel and Gareth?
Yeah, that's an idea that's been floating around inside my head, but I'm not convinced of it.
I don't see how it works.
Yeah.
If they've been on the road, how these guys could leapfrog them, find Gabriel, unless Gabriel has been working for them the whole time.
Well, that's what I was wondering, yeah.
We know they haven't left the general area.
Yeah.
Because where the hell else would these cross cars be coming from?
Cross cars?
Yeah, the Beth Nappers, as this person eloquently puts it.
Yeah. Don't know.
Other points, does Maggie even care about Beth? Has she discussed her whereabouts with Daryl at all? I would like to know the answer to that question.
Yeah. Part of catching up in the train car was not revealing any information about Beth.
Nathan P. said, I didn't think it was possible to go back on a half season of character development, but this episode just did that to Tara in one fist bump. Why would you put Tara back in that ridiculous situation of having to fist bump everyone for no reason again?
That's who she is, man. She's never changed. She's always been fist bump.
In other news, this is the first episode since the mid-season finale of Season 4 that both had Judith present and also did not put her life in danger yet again. So far, since the attack on the prison, the poor baby has been nearly suffocated by a crazy girl, whilst nearly being eaten by walkers, then nearly stabbed by that same crazy girl to make her a zombie, then both strangled and nearly stabbed by a terminite, or termite if you prefer, before being saved by the super nanny squad of Carol and Tyrese. For these occasions, can you see a prevailing theme here? I can't help but feel that if this baby actually managed to grow up, she might have some brain damage from the constant lack of oxygen and or a fear/obsession with stabby objects and the infamous knife game.
Yeah, she's been put in a lot of danger, hasn't she?
This is what I've been saying.
I know.
It's a fucking emotional jukebox. They just keep on hitting it, and it plays, and I'm worried. Rich S. said, I don't need to see it every time, but I'm begging for some sort of policy on people coming and going. I think it's a requirement to have a buddy system to handle daily bathroom trips, and every time you leave the group, you provide a reason and check out, check in. Survival 101. It isn't 9-year-old Carl this isn't 9-year-old Carl wandering off once an episode bad, but still pretty annoying. How does Bob end up alone outside crying?
Yeah.
How is Carol a mile away from camp with only Daryl giving a damn? No one notices Daryl following Carol, and all this goes on within minutes of Abraham's glorious ass-kicking announcement of them as the best of the survivalist? What the fuck?
Fair points all around.
Fair points. You should write a survival guide, Rich.
How does Bob get outside without anybody knowing or caring?
Yeah, like
Rick
Sasha,
is sitting staring at the door.
That door is a creaky, that's like a huge creaky ass church door.
Yeah. There's
Sounds
no
like
way.
grandma's pantry opening every time you open that thing.
I don't know how he ended up outside by himself and how people were just completely oblivious.
P.S. on our point as Daryl as super tracker, Rich says, I'm not sure how Gareth covered his spy tracks enough to fool Daryl, but it's a good thing that he's off on a wild I want a Goose Maggie's jailbait sister chase, because I'd call bullshit if Daryl couldn't track them dragging off Bob. Very good point.
Yeah.
I don't care how good your woodcraft is. You can't fucking drag Bob through the woods and not have it be pretty fucking obvious.
What if you're swinging from trees, man?
And have a cloaking device.
Yeah.
If Gareth pulls his spine out as a trophy, then we'll know.
Okay. Good.
That will all make sense. George S., I have two separate theories for this episode. One, the termites. Oh, this is on the hobo code.
Okay.
He's the one that's mailed it into us. He goes, 1, the termites use these symbols to lure people to their camp and then eat them. 2, Father Gabriel marked the trees and lured people away from the church and towards the cannibals. Churches are refuges for the homeless, and those markings would have had to been created by someone who had seen them before. Ooh, Father Gabriel. Naughty, naughty.
That's the thing, though. You're absolutely right when you say that nobody actually knows what these things mean.
We don't really have hobos anymore, do we?
No, certainly we do have hobos. We have homeless people. They're everywhere.
Well, I'm talking about the ones that ride the rails with the poles with the little napkin tying their food bags together.
Sure.
That, like, the hobo code isn't a real I mean, I guess I need to start looking in urban areas because maybe they are still using
I feel like it is. But the point is, no one, like the vast majority of the population, doesn't have any clue what those even are.
Sure.
Or wouldn't even know how to spot them if
There's
they did.
not enough hobos left alive in this world.
That's the trouble, yeah.
To make luring them in a workable framework. Although they did set up shop in the middle of a junction of train tracks. Maybe they're smarter than we give them credit for.
That's true.
The few
Maybe
remaining
so.
hobos are going to be riding the rails, right? They're going to stick to what they know best.
You're absolutely right.
Merbrowski says, hey there, I have a theory about the markings on the trees. I reckon the hunters marked them so they know where they've been, and that's what Morgan is using to track them down and the rest of the group. Maybe he has found out somehow about what they do and he's after them, or may simply be following the tracks to find people again.
Yeah, so if they're using them for internal communication and everyone has been briefed on the hobo code, that I could see, sure.
I also like the fact that Morgan is big into clearing his town.
Yeah.
He clears out the town. Okay?
He definitely clears.
And he's walking down and he gets wind of this place that's luring people in to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
That's something Morgan cannot abide. If he clears a town full of zombies, he's going to fucking clear Terminus.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
Well, I'm just saying that maybe he's actually he's trying to do this. That's his new mission in life.
To track
maybe
them
Morgan
down?
saves him from the hunters.
Maybe?
He comes swooping in to save Bob next episode.
Ooh. I don't know, man. I don't know how it all lines up. Like I said, we have the problem with the timeline that we're not sure about.
Tara QC says, how appropriate that the crew found a damn short bus to drive the mulleted idiot back to D.C. She says, however, buses use a lot of gas, even short ones. What is the state of gas in the world 2-ish years into the Zompak? Gas loses effectiveness after a while at a minimum. More importantly, I think by now abandoned on-road cars and gas stations have all been sucked dry. As time goes on, I'm feeling like I have to call some bullshit on cars still running. You're exactly right, Tara. Like, if you don't take steps to stabilize fuel, even if it's viable for a car to burn, what happens is that fuel gums up and varnishes the fuel injectors and the carburetors and turns to jelly in the fuel lines. And I think it's safe to say 2+ years into the Zompak, most of fuel is going to be only good for burning bodies and lighting fires. But the exception of that is diesel fuel, which I understand is a lot more chemically stable, and that that can last for a long time, like a decade or more.
Yeah, and fat fryers at McDonald's, you just go in, you scoop it out, you put it in your engine, you're good.
But yeah, for as far as gasoline, I think that's just something we're supposed to conveniently ignore.
Yeah, I think so.
But anyway, Alex M. said, I'm really impressed with Andrew Lincoln this season. The navel-gazing angst of the Laurie days is a distant memory, and his reticence to lead from last season has given way to a pragmatic leader who's equal parts softy and savage. Rick telling Gabriel that he's good as dead if Gabriel's secrets hurt the group, or Cooley telling Garrett that he's going to kill him with a machete is just as believable as Rick laughing and smiling, saying that he'll go wherever Judith goes. In each situation, the other side of him is just under the surface. He'll tear out as many throats as he needs to keep his new family safe. Andrew Lincoln is doing an incredible job playing the character who has been through too much to let his guard down, but understands the need to embrace the good things while he has them. Yeah, someone last week said they can't imagine Rick portrayed by anyone but Andrew Lincoln at this point, and he's really good.
Yeah, he's done a great job. It's interesting. It seems like his personality definitely has been distilled, and I am very impressed with the way they've done that.
He continues, I really hope the writers expand the kind of drama they're willing to explore this season by bringing in some tension between pre- and post-apocalyptic worlds. Even if 90% of the population has been wiped out, it's still conceivable that after 2+ years of roaming around the same general area, you would encounter someone you knew pre-apocalypse. How interesting would it be to see the characters encounter a survivor from a rival group who they knew before the shit hit the fan, and be faced with the choice to kill them or let them live? For a moment, I thought that's where they were going with the Mary and Carol showdown from last week. But what we got still was great. I hope they explore this possibility at least a little bit before leaving Georgia. Are you down for Rick running into that asshole from the homeowners association that made him paint his mailbox white when he wanted to paint it black? Are you into Glenn meeting the high school bully that beat him up when he was in chess club?
No. No, not really. I don't know. If they do it right, maybe, but that seems far-fetched considering how far they're moving at this point. Like, if they go to D.C. and they meet people they know, how's that going to happen?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. He's saying it's got to happen while they're still in Georgia, or it doesn't work at all.
Yeah.
So, MJ says, regarding the group's stupid decision to leave the Terminus folks alive, clearly they should have gone back if only to gather supplies. As mentioned in this episode, supplies are scarce, and they know Terminus was well-stocked with basic food. Well, I assume they had some canned food or something to complement their meat dishes.
Oh, boy.
Basic medical supplies and more weapons. I don't know that they would have to have food, because isn't that the thing? Like, if you eat meat, you pretty much are getting an entire nutrition.
I don't know if that's totally true, but
I thought I read that. Like, there's some types of meat, like rabbits. You can't just live off rabbits, because then you get rabbit starvation, which I don't know what the hell that is, but it's something.
I think they just lack some sort of nutrient.
They're missing some kind of proteins that humans need to survive.
Yeah.
But I've heard that, like, you can just fucking eat cows and shit. Cows and shit. That's nutrition. The 4 food groups should just be a pyramid of all cow. It's not a pyramid. It's as much as it's squared. It just says cow.
Yep.
It's good.
I don't know anything about what you can or can not survive on, so I don't feel like I'm qualified to talk about this.
If you're eating people, though, people have all the nutrition that people need in people. Like, they're fat, let alone, because that's like if you start starving, your body processes fat, and everything in fat breaks down into the things you need to keep living. And if you have enough fat, you will live. So it seems like you just get a well-marbled specimen, like Bob, for example.
Like Eugene.
And you're fine. Am I wrong?
I honestly don't know.
If you're a cannibal nutritionist out there, would you please send us an email?
Yeah, tell us about the long pork.
Anyway, I like that at least Rick thought about these things and brought them up before being overruled, and I can see even the more hardened group members having reason to just move on. I think this may be why Carol wanted to leave. Carol knows it's what's up better than anyone. She knows damn well that boozy potlucks in a church and getting dragged down by a bloated parade of babies, autistic mullet heads, recovering alcoholics, and cowardly priests is a bunch of bullshit. She also knows that Rick showed weakness by not insisting that they kill the Terminus assholes. Hell, maybe she even respects Rick less for letting her back in.
Oh, man. That'd be a turn of... that would be cold. That would be cold, Carol. You put up a fight when Rick banishes you. A little bit. A little bit she put up a fight. Now you come back and you're mad that he's letting you back in. Come on.
Well, Bubba said, even if I told, he's quoting the book of Eugene here, even if I told you all, even if I provided step-by-step instructions complete with illustrations and a well-composed fact on how to win, the cure will still dry with me. Doth thy mullet protest too much and suggest that the cure is in him? Was he perhaps bitten and not turn?
Yeah.
Wait,
immune?
oh crap, never mind. That's a weak-ass storyline from that other zombie show, Z Nation.
Okay, sure.
It's also the plot for the much more wildly successful and artistically with merit franchise, The Last of Us.
Yeah.
So I that would be interesting.
I don't think that's where they're going with it, though. I really don't. He seems to have some sort of knowledge that is going to save them, not an immunity.
All right. This is the last email that we're going to read, and then we're going to have some other stuff and then a spoiler section. But it's kind of long, but I can't resist a challenge. Last week we talked about the zombie draft that Jim and I did back in our old Blue Yonder days.
Yeah.
Rusty went back and listened to that episode, and he has a challenge that he's drafted the most badass. First, I think he cheated. He picked 10 people. I think we picked 7 because that's the way we do on
top 7
Yonder. The challenge: pick a team of 10 fictional characters. He did say 10. Maybe he's right. 10 fictional characters from television or film to help you survive the zombie apocalypse. Rules: no robots, no androids, no aliens, no superpowers. Characters must be human from Earth, existing in present day or the past. No future tech such as phasers, lasers, lightsabers, or tricorders. Bonus points for character diversity in age, gender, race, etc. Bonus points for zombie experience. In no particular order, or I guess it's in numeric order.
Okay.
Number 10, Angus MacGyver from MacGyver, played by Richard Dean Anderson. Except for his distrust of guns, MacGyver is the perfect teammate for zombie apocalypse. He brings an amazing ability to improvise weapons, traps, and other useful items using scarce resources. He's proficient in multiple languages, an avid outdoorsman with skills including snow skiing, outdoor survivalism. MacGyver's most used item is a Swiss Army knife. I
think one of us picked him, yeah.
I think you might have picked him.
I might have picked him.
Number 9, B.A. Baracus from the A-Team, played by Mr. T. Staying with 80s television, B.A., for bad attitude, is a mechanical genius. He also has had one of the worst conduct records in the Army. A tough and rough fighter, he is known for his trademark African Mandinka warrior hairstyle and for his gold jewelry. He's a highly skilled mechanic and has an amazing talent for making impressive machinery out of just about any ordinary parts. Solid.
He also has a lot of fat, so he could probably survive for a while. Yeah,
Mr. T has a lot of fat.
Yeah, he's got fat.
I pity the fool.
He's built, but he's got fat. He's like an Abraham.
You don't know him in his prime.
You're right. I'm thinking of him in his probably 50s or 60s.
Look at him in Rocky 3, for Christ's sake.
Yeah,
that's a specimen.
He's fucking ripped in that, yeah.
Number 8, Hit Girl, a.k.a. Mindy McCready from Kick-Ass, played by Chloe Grace Moretz, or whatever the hell her name is. Every team needs a token teenager, but this girl brings hardcore badass. She's been trained in hand-to-hand combat and fighting with both blunt and bladed weapons. She's also been trained in all things gun-related. Famous quote, "Okay, you cunts, let's see what you can do now." Number 7, Oliver Queen from Arrow, played by Stephen Amell. Silent and deadly, the archer is a staple of post-apocalyptic combat. Queen is a former billionaire playboy who is marooned on an island for 5 years. He's learned martial arts and became an expert archer. Number 6, Alice from Resident Evil, played by Mia Jovovich. A former security operative of the Umbrella Corporation turned anti-Umbrella resistance fighter. Transformed by the T-Virus, Alice gained enhanced strength, reflexes, and psychic powers. Bonus points for zombie experience. Granted.
That is borderline superhero. Borderline. Ooh. She has superpowers.
Ooh.
I don't know that I would allow that one if this were the zombie draft itself.
What if she'd be pre-T-Virus?
Well...
Doesn't it happen like in movie 3, or is that in the first one?
I want to say that's in the first one. I don't know.
It's been they all run together in my mind.
Yeah,
but, you're on thin ice here. You're on thin ice. You are skirting the rules, my friend Rusty.
It would be a great pick, no doubt, if we allowed it.
By the way, we've downshifted into Blue Yonder mode. We will tear your picks to shreds if we disagree with them. Just you stepped into the ring.
Yeah, sure.
So get ready. Number 5, Nathaniel Hawkeye from Last of the Mohicans, played by Daniel Day-Lewis. Frontiersman raised by Delaware Indians, became expert in tracking, hunting, and marksmanship. One shot, one kill. He's used to living off the land. Famous quote: "Stay alive, no matter what occurs. I will find you." Yeah.
He has wilderness survival skills.
You're picking a badass from a romantic period piece. It's a good thing you got 3 extra picks on us because we're getting some shaky picks here, Rusty.
All right, so we've eliminated Daniel Day-Lewis and Alice.
Yeah, he would try to bury his tomahawk into his zombie heart and didn't get bit immediately. Number 4, Fiona Glennan from Burn Notice, played by Gabrielle Anwar. I don't even know who the fuck this is. Apparently, she's a formerly affiliated with the IRA, has gone since out on her own, using her skills in explosives, picking locks, tracking weapons, and hand-to-hand combat to make a living. Famous quote: "Should we shoot them? Although I must respect your mixing the male-to-female ratio. We did not pay nearly enough attention to that.
We didn't, no.
Because once you survive the zombie apocalypse, you got to get the breeding."
But you know what? I got a fucking farmer, so that's all I need.
Fuck you and your farmer. Dr. Gregory, number 3, Dr. Gregory House from House, hobbling on his fucking cane, addicted to pain pills, coming down with lupus. What the hell? The team needs a doctor, and they don't come any smarter than the House. He's a board-certified diagnostician.
They do come faster than the House, though.
He'll be good for your first hour of survival. With a specialty in nephrology and infectious disease, who heads the Department of Diagnostic Medicine in Princeton Plainsboro Teaching Hospital. If anyone can find a zombie cure, it's House. Bonus points for being crusty old guy with a disability. No, he's just going to say it's lupus. He's going to be in denial that's lupus until his face is being eaten off. Terrible pick. Come on, Rusty.
I agree.
Second pick, Captain Samantha Carter from Stargate SG-1, played by Amanda Tapping, Air Force captain, astrophysicist, engineer, and pilot, considered Earth's leading expert on the Stargate and a host of other alien technology. According to Jack O'Neill, her brain is a national treasure. That's the guys Mr. O'Neill's trying to get in her pants. Yeah. Next pick, number 1, General Maximus Decimus Meridius from Gladiator, played by Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe's a badass.
He's badass.
Well, we got another period piece coming.
We do.
Roman general, commander of the Northern Army, natural leader of men, brings unparalleled strategic and tactical knowledge, desires to return to his family and his farm. I'm sorry, but it's all over. This team is perfect, wins hands down.
No, one of my guys can take out your entire team.
Who's that?
Boba Fett. What are you going to do against Boba Fett? What are you going to do against Iron Man?
Come on now.
Yeah.
I don't even remember who all we picked.
I think I know I picked a farmer. I think it was Mel Gibson from The Sign.
You're right. You've got no room to talk.
I picked Boba Fett. Boba Fett is way better than almost any other pick.
I think my problem is I picked all dudes, so I'm going to have to Jurassic Park Life Will Find the Way somehow when it's all over to get to repopulating.
Yep. At least you didn't pick a jiu-jitsu expert. At least you didn't pick that.
Yeah, our friend picked a mixed martial artist. And I was like, what are you going to do? Throw a zombie in an arm bar? That's not going to work. Going to reverse Gamora? No. Whatever.
That was awesome. So I cast some doubt on whether you would be able to survive this thing.
That was fun, though. If anyone else wants to come at us, I'll link it in the show notes again. The Blue Yonder episode where we did our zombie draft. And you can check it out. Okay. What else? Oh, before we go, one final thing before we get to the spoiler section. Our buddy Jesse, who you might know from Personal Arrogance, been doing a podcast. We've known him for years and years and years. He is trying to kickstart a brewery, and he's almost there. He's in the home stretch. If good beer, if H.P. Lovecraft, if Personal Arrogance, any of that stuff is up your alley, spend the next couple minutes with us interviewing him about his passion and find out how you can support. And then we'll get right to the spoiler section. So we will see you past the wall of music.
Yep, sounds good.
We have been friends for a long time now. I think we first came in contact around episode 20-ish, 23, 24-ish of Personal Arrogance.
Yeah, it was definitely way back then.
And you're up to like 218, 219 now. I mean, that's almost 4 years.
Yeah.
We've been best internet buds. We've met up in real life we actually plan vacations around all of our availability so we can get together and play board games and drink beers. It's not an exaggeration to say you're one of my best in real life friends at this point.
Definitely.
And as long as I've known you, you've been passionate about one thing, and that is the suds and the buds and the brews.
What? Yeah, suds and buds are my number 1 and number 2 favorite things. So my buds do rank after beer. I would have to give up my friends before I gave up beer.
And I remember you got your starts at a brewery, and you were kind of like the barrel boy, right?
Yeah, I mean, I started at the very what's the bottom version of tippity top? The bottomiest bottom.
I don't know. I'd have to ask Drake. But you started from the bottom. You worked your way up to master brewer since I've known you. I've actually tasted some of your self-made creations, and I've watched you. You know, I remember when I went out to, I think it was maybe the second PAX I went out there, you had scraped together, you know, you like cut a keg in half, and you're making a boiler out of it, and you're doing all this Frankenstein shit and like taking me through it. And every time I go out, no, actually the first time, it's when you were in Seattle and you were making a beer out of a 5-gallon bucket in the bathroom.
Right.
Then I went out there and you had the half-cut keg with the turkey fryer heating element and all that stuff. And every time I go out there, it just gets more and more elaborate. What the hell? Now you're doing your own brewery, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I'm trying to kickstart a brewery, and so far we've had a lot of success. I'm trying to raise $30,000, and I'm at $25,700.
And you're in the final stretch. We got, 6 days left? 5 days left?
Yeah, less than a week, so we're at the home stretch, and we can make this thing a reality, but I still need a bunch of help to kind of push it over the finish line.
Yeah, and that's the thing. In Kickstarter psychology, and, you know, Jim and I have been through this with a couple Kickstarters as well. You always have those kind of like people that are on the fence. They're like, oh, that's a great idea, but oh, wow, there's 28 days left. I'll hit snooze on this.
Right.
It's getting to the point where you'll be late for work.
Yeah.
Shit won't get done if you hit the snooze button too many more times at this juncture.
Yeah, no, there's no time to wait. And we have a lot of great backer rewards.
Yeah, tell us about the concept of this brewery, because it unites another passion of yours.
Right, yeah, so I'll tell you how to find it. If you go to Kickstarter and search Lovecraft, you'll find it, because the name of the brewery is Lovecraft Brewing Company.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a big fan of the author, the prolific short story author H.P. Lovecraft, who was inspired by Edgar Allan Poe and in turn went on to inspire a lot of other horror writers. And I'm sure the people who wrote The Walking Dead are familiar with the works of H.P. Lovecraft. And
sure, I mean, this is, if you don't know the name, you will know this next one, which is Cthulhu.
Yeah,
or Cthulhu, or however you pronounce it. Yeah,
blowing up lately.
Sure, if you've been to a con, any kind of fan con lately, you will see a bunch of green winged octopus humanoid figures. That's Cthulhu. He's everywhere.
Yeah, he is everywhere because he sleeps an eternally dead slumber.
Sure.
Underneath the ocean.
Yeah.
Just waiting, biding its time. So we're trying to help bring him back to life.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, to come destroy the Earth, because I just want to be on his good side. I live by the ocean, so if he does, wake up and decide to come to land, I want to be the guy who says, hey, I named my brewery after you.
That's right. You're in prime kaiju territory. You have to appease these beasts.
I'm in the danger zone.
You're right off the Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
So it's lent his namesake to your brewery, but it's also inspired and influenced some of your brews as well.
Yeah. So our flagship beers are the Elder God, which is a bière de garde, a French style beer.
Mm-hmm.
And it sort of inspired my methodology of making beer, because the bière de garde is a big beer. It's 7.5%, and I like to brew with some funky yeasts to give it funky in a good way, to give it like some tart flavor and some interesting characteristics that aren't just, your standard Pacific Northwest IPA. I'm trying to be creative with the stuff.
Sure.
And I'm trying to make big beers, bold beers that you kind of defy convention. And as my wife Tasha and I like to say, that we're brewing insanely good beers.
You will have to roll sanity checks with every sip.
Yeah, exactly.
So it wouldn't be a Kickstarter without some cool backer rewards, and this one is no exception. Tell the people what they can get in return for their hard-earned backer dollars, backer bucks.
Everyone's going to be included on a founders list as sort of a thank you just to begin. At sort of the bottom, we'll sign one of our coasters and mail it out to you, so you have the official signature of me and my wife, because that's important.
Mm-hmm.
But we go all the way up through glassware. We got great pint glasses, growlers, through T-shirts, hoodies, and stuff, and all the logo design and everything was done by my best friend Eric Walquist, who does Personal Arrogance with me, and he is just a killer graphic artist. And
he also designed every one of our Kickstarter T-shirts. He is the biz.
Yeah, he's the biz for sure. And we came up with this sort of like modernized Art Nouveau, which is sort of a 19th, 20th century French art style that was used in a lot of advertisements that included a bunch of good-looking ladies. And so we sort of co-opted that, and instead of just, good-looking ladies holding up the beer, we decided they should be monstrous, and they have like tentacle heads, and they're holding the pint of beer up with their tentacles instead of their hands.
Because why not,
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And then when you get to the upper end of the spectrum of donation, you can get hoodies. We have a bunch of bundles, and you can get a stein, a handmade ceramic stein that's made by my wife, who's a potter.
Badass.
And yeah, at the very tippity top, you got the ability to come in and do a commercial production run of a beer of your design with me.
Yeah, I'm just incredibly excited about this thing succeeding. I'm really, I'm really pulling for you guys. I really encourage our listeners, if you're a fan of good beer, if you're a fan of H.P. Lovecraft, if you're a fan of the Bald Move family and Personal Arrogance, please go to their Kickstarter. They've got a great video. They kind of show off the family. They show off the beers. You can see Jesse and his wife Tasha enjoying them. It's going to be in the show notes of this here podcast. The one you're listening to right now, pop over to the show notes. I'm going to link to it so you can get to it real easy. I really believe in it. I can't wait to taste some of these H.P. Lovecraft inspired brews. Jim and I are backers. We've thrown our monetary weight behind it. I really wish all the best, and I hope you are successful in this final stretch. I
just want to let you know, we're trying to do this truly independent, and the beer's going to be good, for one thing. I am an experienced brewer, so it's not like I just have this pipe dream and I think everything's going to fall together magically.
Your wife is too. She's got extensive brewing and distilling experience in her own right.
Right, and you mentioned distilling because down the line is the possibility that Lovecraft spirits could be a thing.
I'm salivating and the head spinning at the thought. Anything else, man?
No, I think we've basically covered it. I just want to say thank you for giving me this platform.
And we're back with the spoiler section. Do we have a lot this week?
A little bit. Michael McBee with My Biggest Problem. Hey guys, just wondering if I'm the only one upset that they didn't have Bob proclaim to the hunters while laughing, you're eating tainted meat.
Yeah.
So there was some Game of Thrones folk in a particular episode from last season that were really upset about a particular line being changed from only cat to your sister.
Those people are lunatics.
And I'm like, get the fuck out. Come on. Maybe it's a little bit less, but there's some good reasons why they might have rewrote that line. Mm-hmm. I can't fathom why they chose to end on this note rather than have Bob, if he in fact is bit.
Yep.
And in the comics, of course, Dale is the one who is in this predicament, and he has been bit, and he did wander off to die. And he yells back in their face in a moment of badass, "You're eating tainted meat, motherfuckers."
Yeah.
Why they didn't have Bob like just hysterically laughing and saying that? I don't get it.
Any momentum they built during this monologue and this reveal
Plus it's
is going to be lost.
It's such a great 1-2 punch. Like Gareth is in this crowning moment of and then Bob robs him of it, and we are feeling elated and awesome. And if they put this to the beginning of next week, it's if the pacing
there is no second punch.
No, the pacing's terrible. I don't understand. And that's the thing. It's like one of the things that drove me nuts, and I couldn't talk about it on Instant Cast because it's a spoiler.
Yeah.
By the way, all you people that read the comics, please do not put comic book spoilers in the Facebook thread. It just makes me delete them, and I'm just scared to death all Sunday night while I'm doing a podcast and sleeping that someone's going to spoil someone and ruin their day. I mean, we all know
Whatever,
we're excited.
Man, it's not on you.
We all
That's
know.
on them.
I know, but we all know we're excited. The Hunter storyline is here. We're all hoping they knock it out of the park, but. There's, when we have the forums, we'll have a spoiler thread so all the comic book fans can get together and geek out about how awesome it is. Until then, hold tight for another week or two. Please help us keep everyone spoiler free. He continues, all in all, I like this episode a lot, but I don't see Sasha having a problem with shooting dead Bob dead in the head like Andrea. Do you think they're still heading in that direction? I think that Bob's bit. I think that Bob will be... This is another Kirkman remix, and that he is going to be in exactly the Dale position. I think it would be very ironic, and I'm hopeful because I really like Lawrence as an actor. I'm really hopeful that he was bit on the leg, and these fucking idiots
saved him and
saved
killed
him by
themselves.
mistake. However, they would be idiots not to notice a giant zombie bite mark on a leg that they're eating.
Yeah.
Like
did they cook it with the pants on?
Like I'm wrapping a turkey. I'm getting it dressed. I'm about ready to put it in a fryer. I notice a giant bite on it. I'm going to be like, what the fuck, Butterball?
Why did someone take a bite of my turkey?
Yeah, I'm not going to be like, well, whatever. So that kind of like, man, if they do that, it's kind of bullshit.
Yeah,
Shit.
I don't know how they're going to salvage the punch that.
Bob might
that
die, and
should
honestly,
have.
they haven't made him interesting enough for me to want him around other than because of Lawrence. And it's a shame because, once again, the most interesting, compelling parts of a character come out right before they off him, if they do indeed do this. So it's like I feel like Gimple still needs to learn, and Kirkman need to learn how to pace this stuff out better. But, what are you going to do? Any thoughts before we move on?
Nope.
Edwin C. said, I need to address everyone's excitement over Negan because this guy has become the Howland Reed of the Walking Dead universe. Everyone is so eager to meet him. As a comic reader, I can tell you that there's at least a season and a half of story before we get to this guy. And a quick layout we have the group's arrival to Alexandria, the group trying to fit in with the Safe Zone people, Rick's tangle for power, the Alexandria Safe Zone facing conflicts, the introduction of Jesus and the Hilltops, skirmishes with the Saviors. Rick and his crew have several battles with the Saviors before he meets Negan, which leads me to believe that we won't meet him until the end of Season 6, setting up Season 7 and possibly 8 for the war, in which is a very long comic story arc in the comics. I, Edwin, think you are crazy that they are going to take that much time to get to this. I think that they are going to... I'm one of the people that is expecting this Hunter's plot line to be wrapped up in the next week, maybe two. And I kind of see them arriving at Alexandria, maybe at the end of this season. I think that all that stuff you're talking about as individual bullet points is an episode or two, and I think we're going to have Negan at the end of this season. I could be wrong. It could be the end of Season 6. No way is it going to stretch out to the end of Season 7 or 8.
Like, that's the thing. Once you get to 8 seasons of a TV show...
It's really hard to maintain interest. And the other thing that you don't think about in TV terms is how expensive contracts get.
Yeah.
Like, you have to negotiate, and these people are going to want more and more money.
From what I understand, Rick survives for a very long time. How old is Andrew Lincoln going to be portraying Rick? Is he going to be in his 50s in season 15? Like, what are you expecting will happen with these characters?
I don't know. And I don't
over
want
the
to
next 8 seasons. Like, TV shows don't last that long unless you're The Simpsons, unless you're animated.
Yeah. That's a good... Then you know why? Because animated is a lot cheaper, and you don't have as many power struggles and whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay. He also talks about a lot of stuff that we've already talked about. He says, one last thing. I'm disappointed in you, Aaron, being a comic book reader, with being upset that Tyrese didn't shoot the guy in the cabin. You should know that Tyrese is an awful shot and had better odds of hitting the baby than the guy. I actually responded to him in email. Now I just now realize what he's talking about. He's talking about in the situation where he had the guy dead to rights. Man, how fucking bad do you got to be to miss a shot by 3 feet when you're 6 foot away? Try it. Go to a range with a revolver and see if you can hit a silhouette from that distance. Like, I don't know. I've been shooting iron sights since I was like 7 years old. You haven't, though. Was the first time I took you to a gun range the first time you shot?
Yeah.
You were hitting, you were killing men, if you had to, at 15 feet from the first.
Sure.
It's not that hard.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
It's a very easy to use interface that's been evolved over several hundred years. So I just don't know. I mean, even if you're not aiming down the sights, it feels like you could hit a guy. And again, it's not like he had Judah's head up there. I might be scared. But he had his hands in the ice box, and he had a whole torso and head to aim at. I don't know. So you might be right, though. Travis P. said, do you think they're keeping Judith alive so that Negan can kill her instead of Glenn? It'd be a good way to show how crazy he is. Beating a newborn, a toddler to death with a barbed wire baseball bat. Jim, can The Walking Dead go that low?
I think so.
What the seriously?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Walking Dead has no limits as far as violence and the portrayal of violence.
That was one thing that was interesting that I was kind of beside myself on the podcaster panel. How many of our fellow hosts were saying that The Walking Dead's gone too far with the butchery of last episode?
It's not just last episode.
No, but they were specifically saying that it's too far. They want to bring it back. I'm like, no, this is getting worse.
Yeah, you don't expect them to cut back on the violence.
I feel like these people are Theon Greyjoy, and The Walking Dead is Ramsay Bolton, and they just have no idea. Like, it's this. If you think this is going to end in rainbow kittens and puppy kisses, you haven't been paying attention.
Yeah.
Joe N said, I believe it was Carol in the comics that asked Lori if she could marry her and Rick. Ooh, this is interesting. This ties into what I was talking about last week's spoiler speculation. I think they're setting up Tara to ask Maggie if she can marry her and Glenn. Lots of shots of Tara being too close and friendly with each of them. So you remember I said that there's in a prison arc, Carol, after Ed dies, and I think Sophia, kind of becomes deranged, and she becomes close to Lori and close to Rick, and decides that she wants to marry them, and Biz says this like kind of big love style fundamentalist Mormon family, and Lori and Rick are both like, no, that's not happening, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And this also happens after she's rejected by Tyrese because she first coupled up with him. Michonne came in. Boy. He switches off to Carol track to Michonne.
Of course. And
then she goes and offers herself up to a female zombie for love, and that works like you'd think it would.
Legs first?
What?
I don't know. Bob got eaten legs first, and you said she
I thought you were
her legs for a zombie.
Okay.
I
thought, okay. Let's just move on.
I was trying to make them both.
Yeah. All right. Wow. Let's see. Where was I at? I got to walk this one back.
Derailed.
So I wondered, I think Carol's too strong of a character to pull that arc with.
Yeah.
But I was wondering, if they wouldn't try a love triangle with her or Tyrese or something like that. And I started thinking that halfway through the episode, I'm like, oh, they're going to go there with Tara.
Yeah, could be.
Tara's going to fall in love with Maggie and then want that, that closeness and that relationship, and they're going to reject her, and she's going to go crazy. But I'm sticking with my guns. I feel like that this is I'm getting to be friends with you. This is something between us. I need to come clean, rather than I think you're hot and I want to get with you naked.
Mosh. Smosh.
So what do you think?
Yeah, no, I think they could go there eventually. And maybe this is setting it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't totally disagree with the emailer. No.
All right. I don't know. Like I said, it'd be a little weird. And this whole Kirkman remix, I feel like sometimes he just needs to let some things go.
And just let them play out as they do in the comics?
Yeah, like again, Father Gabriel coming this far into the apocalypse, really kind of strains your credibility. We talked about that in Instant Cast, not so much this one, about how he could really just hole up for 2 years by himself. Mm-hmm. No problems, no bubbles, no troubles. That wasn't a big deal when it happened immediately after the prison arc, which also happened, less than a year into the zombie apocalypse itself.
Gotcha.
So I do feel like if he's going to continue to bring stuff back from, we're on issue like 120 something. He's still bringing, if you're going to be bringing back from issues from like issue 25 and 30, it's going to get harder and harder because the world's not the same, man.
Yeah.
So, and the characters certainly aren't.
Good point.
Anyway, that's what I'm hoping for. I guess we're going to be opening up a Tainted Meat if we get it at all, but who knows?
Yeah, I'm wondering if they'll even go there. Like, they've established rules such that might not matter.
Yeah.
That it's tainted, so maybe they won't even do it.
All right. That's all I got, man. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
All right, well, be looking for our Walking Dead coverage our Month of the Dead coverage of which Romero movie?
Survival of the Dead this week, and
Coming out tomorrow.
And then next Wednesday is both of the Dawn of the Deads, the original and the remake.
Sure. And we got that coming at you, and yeah, that's all. I just ran out of juice.
All right. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.
All right, good night.